Hello, my name is Mark with Democracy Lab, and today I'd like to talk to you about an idea to encourage greater collaboration in the civic tech space. The idea is to connect stakeholders to better create and use online community engagement tools that can generate real-world results. This idea for our Civic Tech Exchange evolved from conversations at the National Coalition for Dialogue and Deliberations conference held in Seattle in 2012. A group of civic tech enthusiasts submitted a Catalyst Award proposal to build an online dialogue and deliberation infrastructure platform. Unfortunately, we didn't win the Catalyst Award, and that project didn't really get off the ground, but some of its ideas live on. We imagined a dynamic database for civic tech with unique views for each of the critical user profiles, the citizens who would use the platforms, developers, leaders, and donors. And so each of these groups would make critical inputs into this civic tech marketplace. Citizens would contribute their ideas and their time using the tools that have been developed and provide ratings and feedback on those tools. Developers would contribute time and code into the tools that would be featured on the Civic Tech Exchange. Leaders would provide guidance as to what kind of tools they would like to see and a commitment to listen to the output that results. Donors would provide funding to the program and guidance on what type of programs they're interested in funding. They would vote with their contributions. Each of the groups would also receive benefits from their participation. Citizens would at the conclusion of successful engagement, see improvements in the communities in which they're a part. They may also receive recognition for their participation. Developers would be paid for the work that they're doing and receive recognition of their good work. Leaders would get actionable ideas from their community of constituents and a network that they could engage with to share the results of those ideas. And donors may receive a tax deduction and recognition for their donation. And so if we run through the life cycle of how this might work, perhaps a leader starts with an idea that they bring to the community for how they'd, to the exchange for how they'd like to engage their community. That gets shared with a donor who provides funding and guidance into what they'd like to see developed. They, at the time they make their contribution, receive a tax deduction and recognition for what they've done. Developers receive payment for the work that they do in creating the software tools that would be used. Once those tools are created, leaders would be willing to buy into listening to the results of the community engagement. And at that time, outreach to citizens could take place. Citizens would commit their time to sharing their ideas and receive recognition for their results. They would also rate the software that they've used, and that those ratings may reflect favorably upon the developers who built the tools. The leaders would presumably take actionable ideas away from that engagement process. Once those ideas are implemented, they could be shared back through the network that the leader has been able to create through the engagement process, and the citizens receive the real-world benefit of improvements in the community in which they're a part. So that's the virtuous life cycle that is imagined through this platform. But the real question is, how would it work? What do the gears inside look like? And basically what we imagine is a database of projects similar to what ParticipatedDB has done, but with greater depth to the database and the ability to sort and filter what a particular user is looking at based on their needs. So if I'm a citizen, I may be interested in seeing that my community is being engaged, addressing issues that I care about, that leaders have committed to listen to the output of the engagement. I may want to see how much activity is taking place in the community, what stages of the problem lifecycle are being addressed. And what that refers to is, are we framing an issue? Are we deliberating solutions, making decisions, taking action, evaluating outcomes? Different civic tech tools may engage in different parts of that problem lifecycle. And then as a citizen, I may want to rate and review the experience that I have when using the tool. As a developer, I may be interested in all of those things, but also in understanding the technologies that are used, whether there's financial backing behind the project, how is the project organized, and who is on the leadership team, and I'd like to see any code repositories that may exist. As a leader, I have many of those same concerns. And as a donor, I'd like to be able to do some due diligence and understand that any contribution that I make is likely to have a positive impact. And so the overall goal is for each of these stakeholders to make contributions to the Civic Tech Exchange and to receive benefits from it, and in the process to speed up the iteration cycle for civic tech projects, breaking down silos and facilitating more effective collaboration. And just as a footnote, this is what we envision the problem lifecycle looks like for online engagement tools. We don't imagine that civic tech tools are likely to do all of these things, but that most projects that would consider themselves to be civic tech will do at least one of these. So that is our idea for a civic tech exchange. Is this an idea worth building? We'd love to hear what you think. Thank you.